Hi folks, HR Funk here. Out on the range after a week of very impatient waiting to finally do some shooting with my Smith & Wesson 5943 SSV and find out how it's going to perform. Now if you saw part one of this video, which was my shop review, you already know that this is a brand new in-the-box unfired example of this Smith & Wesson 5943 SSV. If you didn't see part one, I'll post a link at the end of this video so you can go back and find out all the specifics about this pistol. I'll also, at the beginning, apologize to any collectors out there who may be looking for an in-the-box unfired 5943 SSV, but this pistol very shortly is going to become a fired example, so there's going to be one less unfired one on the market. Also, something I neglected to mention in my initial review of this pistol is the fact that it does have a magazine disconnect safety. Now this is something that some folks very much do not like. And as I mentioned in my shop review, this pistol was originally marketed to law enforcement, and for that reason it's got that magazine disconnect. Reason being, and I've mentioned this before, there is an officer safety issue associated with the magazine disconnect. Specifically, if someone is trying to disarm an officer and the officer is fighting to keep control of the pistol, if he or she can possibly hit that magazine release and release the magazine, that disables the pistol, so if the bad guy ultimately gains control of it, the pistol can't be used against the officer. I'm pretty much ambivalent to it. I don't mind one way or the other. So again, that magazine disconnect doesn't bother me. I've had it on several firearms, but if you're someone that is bothered by that and you find a used 5943 SSV out there somewhere, just be aware it does have that feature. In any case, in a couple of minutes here, I'm going to start through my standard handgun testing battery with the 5943 SSV, and we're going to see how it does. And here we go. First up is a 30-foot slow fire accuracy test, just to see what kind of accuracy I can squeeze out of the 5943 SSV. And here we go with the 30-foot accuracy test. And my unfired 5943 SSV is about to become a fired pistol. You know, it's been almost 30 years since this was manufactured, and it's not been fired that whole time. It almost seems like a little bit of a crime to deflower it and run around through it, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I really am gonna fire it. I'm telling you, and I can hear all the collectors out there right now saying, don't do it, don't do it. But I'm going to, and here we go. And it's now a fired version of the 5943 SSV. And here's those first 5 shots. For some reason, that very first shot was a little bit off to the left, and I'm not sure if that might have had something to do with the fact that it was the very first shot ever to cycle through the pistol. Maybe there was something that was just a little bit off. The other 4 are in about maybe about a 2-inch group right there. Not bad at all, easily covered by my fist. So from there, now I can move on and do a little bit more shooting and not have to worry about it being an unfired pistol anymore. All right, folks, time to stretch the 5943 SSV's legs a little bit. I've now moved back to a distance of 50 feet from the target, and I've swapped out my bullseye target for a human silhouette. So let's see how the pistol does from this distance. And there we go. That's a very respectable group from that distance of 50 feet with the 5943 SSV. I'm hitting slightly to the left, so I may need to give that rear sight a little bit of a tap back to the right just to bring it to the center of the target. But the size of that group looks very good. And this is the type of accuracy I remember from these pistols back when I carried one during the 1990s on duty. And it's time to speed things up a little bit, folks. I have moved up to a distance of 20 feet from the target, and from here I'm going to fire some failure drills. This is 2 shots to the body and 1 shot to the head in rapid succession. Let's see how the 5943 SSV performs on this drill. And the body shots are looking real good here. 2 of the head shots are looking good. I managed to pull, I think this was the second one, low and to the left. That was just me. Otherwise, the pistol itself is performing very well. Time for a multiple adversary drill, folks. In this drill, I'm going to fire 1 shot to target on the right, 3 shots to target on the left, and then 2 more shots to target on the right, all in rapid succession, and this drill takes place at a distance of 15 feet from the target. And things were looking very good on the multiple adversary drill. Got 3 good shots to target on the right, 3 good shots to target on the left. I'm not sure what the time was on that. I didn't have my timer going. But one of the nice things about this double action only trigger is it feels very much like a double action revolver. So with this type of a drill, it just seems very natural to be able to point shoot and pretty much put those shots right where you want them to go. Now this is the point in the video where I usually fend off the water bottle desperados, but I'm going to change things up a little bit in this video. You may recall, if you saw part 1, that my younger self was concerned about the double action only trigger on the 5943 SSV not being able to deliver an accurate shot if the need presented itself. So I'm going to skip right to the Thumbtack Shot. I've got 3 rounds loaded into the pistol, I've got a thumbtack in the target, and I'm going to see if I can drive that thing from a distance of 20 feet. Now, as you've noticed, I'm hitting a little bit to the left with the 5943 SSV, and I've not done anything to the sight, so I'm going to favor the right side a little bit and see if I can drive that thing out of there. Yes! On the first shot, the 5943 SSV is a tack driver. Time to come clean, folks. There's another reason that I moved the tack driving shot up in the order, and that's because I have a real menace to deal with out here on the range today, and this is something that's affecting the whole country. I have the coronavirus here on the range, and I'm literally infested with it. So I'm going to see if I can take the 5943 SSV and eradicate the coronavirus. And that's how we eradicate the coronavirus around these parts. Wait a minute. I see another one coming. It's King Corona. I've got something just for him. Hasta la vista, King Corona. So, having dealt with COVID-19, I can now return you to your regularly scheduled review of the Smith & Wesson 5943 SSV. And that's pretty much going to wrap things up for my review of the Smith & Wesson 5943 SSV. As you've seen, the pistol has performed very well out here at the range today. Rear sight needs a little bit of an adjustment, but otherwise it's run very well. In fact, it hasn't missed a beat, which is significant because, again, up until today, this was an unfired pistol. And even though I'm shooting hand loads, just as with the pistols that I carried back during the 1990s, this one has been 100% reliable. And the only thing I did before I came out here today was a quick cleaning and to properly lube the pistol, but otherwise it's exactly as it was when it came out of the box. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you order anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off anything you order from Optics Planet. See you next time, folks. And until then, good shooting. Oh, and stay corona free.